Ready as I'll ever be, dude. Ready as I'll ever be. How come the camera's more on you? Why is
Yeah! Welcome in. Welcome into the 23 Moto podcast. Welcome.
Why do you look
I was
taller
going to
than
say live, but we are not live.
We are not live, but we're back.
I'm testing things. Welcome to the 23 Moto podcast.
What's up,
I
dude?
am Michael. This is Robbie.
That is my name.
If you're new to this show,
Which you're not.
we are brought to you. I know we're the number one podcast in the world.
Yeah, we get everybody.
We are sponsored by ETS Racing Fuel, Factory Effects Graphics, Yoshimura Exhaust, Albeco Bags, Motosport.com, Luxon Clamps.
Okay, let me just gotta throw something in there.
Corridas Tires.
I like how you said we are sponsored by. I don't have any Luxon clamps. I have an Albeck bag,
What else do you have?
Factory Effects Graphics, and ETS Racing Fuel.
Yep. So
And no discount code to Motorsport.
I have my login I could help you with.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't have discount code.
So I do have discount codes though, if you're
But-
curious about that.
Canvas-
You have a Yoshimura exhaust.
Canvas. Yes, I do. It sounds great with
I'm
that
just
ETS
saying.
Racing Fuel.
I have some One Industries t-shirts coming to you.
Nice.
Yeah, he asked like what sizes you were. I said you were an extra small.
I'm up for wearing whatever right now. Until somebody wants to give me a deal on gear, I'm up for whatever.
So
I'm running wild.
we have a good show for you. We have a whole lot to get into. Charlotte SMX was insane. Austin Forkner is coming on.
You know what I just realized?
What?
Austin's coming over just on phone only, huh?
Yeah, phone
I
only.
want to see his beautiful face.
Yeah, I asked him and I was like, do you want to do video or phone? He just said just phone. I think
think
it's
I'll-
easier for them.
I think it's easier, yeah, because they can just chill and lay down on the couch upside down and do an interview.
Do you really think Austin, that's what he's doing? Is
We're
just
going
chilling?
to ask him. I'm going to ask him, what are you doing at this moment?
That would be actually
Are you
pretty
laying
funny.
on a couch? Are you laying on your bed? Are you upside down playing with your baby or
Keep
something?
going.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what you're doing.
making sure this dang freaking thing is connected. It keeps disconnecting on it.
What?
Oh,
For the Bluetooth?
yeah.
No. Anyways, so welcome back, everybody. I know you guys are here for my rants
There we go.
and everything. Are we good?
Yep.
Is it on there right now?
No. Yeah, you heard all that.
Yeah.
No.
Just saying, you never know.
So I have a lot of thoughts on the track. I'm going to hold them because Austin was so gracious enough. He's 3 hours ahead, so I'm trying to get him on as early
Oh,
as
he's not
possible.
out here right now? Oh, because
No.
they're staying out there to go to St. Louis, huh?
Yeah, and he's from Missouri. Did you know that?
Where?
I don't know. I didn't even realize that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh, I
he's
didn't
from
know that.
Missouri. So
what if
that's-
he is from Overland Park, Kansas, where we were born, and grew up in Grandview, Missouri, where we grew up,
He might.
and lived in Kansas City, where we lived?
Hold on. I'm making sure he's good.
Bro, what? You didn't have that prepared in the beginning?
What?
Whatever you're doing, dude.
Texting him?
Yeah.
No, I told him I'd give him a heads up soon as we're ready.
Can you text me his number?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Actually, it's 726
Yeah, right,
77. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Anyway, so what are your thoughts on the track? Just kidding, because I want to hear from Austin Forkner.
Dude, that track was insane. I mean, I'll give you my thoughts on it.
I thought the layout was super cool.
I thought the layout was good. I thought it was the most similar to a motocross track that they've been able to develop when
Yeah.
it came to
Yeah.
SMX.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's wild about it in my opinion. You know what I mean? So what I think is they did a very good job of trying to make it as rough as possible making it as difficult as they possibly could.
And they achieved it.
And they did a really good job of getting the track as competitive as they possibly could.
Yeah.
But the best thing about it is we have somebody that raced the track.
Yeah, we do.
That was there
Yep.
from Triumph,
Yep.
Factory Triumph Racing.
He's a great guy.
Great guy. Austin Forkner.
Yep.
Welcome to
he's
the
on?
23 Moto podcast.
I didn't know he was on there.
How's it going?
I'm
What's
good,
up?
man. How are you? You
Good.
we were just getting into the show and we were talking about the track, and I have some thoughts on the track. Obviously, you got a fifth, and we just took the one moto, right? But you got a fifth overall. We
Solid finish.
Still get the points. The momentum's going. I think you're finding kind of the stride that like I think a lot of people and you kind of expected from yourself. But what I would love is for you to give us your thoughts and opinion on what that track and what happened was on Saturday.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal.
So I actually felt like I learned the track and everything really easily. Like I don't know what about like okay, the main thing was it was rutted, which it was really rutted, and some of those doubles on the like the outdoor section at the end of the speedway, they were a little bit sketchy for sure. Like mainly the step down that I think Marchbanks or
Yeah.
that he was down to the right of that step down into that little hole that that was a little sketchy because those ruts from the turn like led up the face. So that was definitely a little bit sketchy.
Oh, wow.
The and then all the sand turns like they were just super soft and deep. So it was hard to set a bike up for that track because like you need something stiff and super crossy for the one rhythm section, but then you go to the outdoor track and it's 2 feet deep of sand and sawdust, and then so you like need something to kind of be soft in the bumps and and so it was real hard to set a bike up for that track. But I mean, I heard a bunch of guys like really complaining about the track.
Oh, a
I didn't
lot.
think it was, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad. Like I heard him complaining about the double triple before the finish line and a bunch of that stuff, and like I never really thought it was that sketchy. Like I don't. I learned it quick. I hit it on like the second lap. I was kind of the first guy to hit a lot of the jumps. Like I didn't really think that they were that sketchy. I know a bunch of the futures kids were casing the double
Yep.
triple before the finish. A bunch of like I've seen all those clips. I was watching that practice anyway. But like I don't know. I didn't really find I got comfortable on the track like right away. So I didn't really think it was all that sketchy. Now that being said, if we would have had to race that last moto,
Oh,
it definitely would have been like I don't think we would have done the jumps first off, like especially
Right.
those ones on the outdoor section. They were already so soft and so rutted that with the amount of rain that we got, which I heard my team manager told me that they were if we did race, they were going to bulldoze the whole outdoor section.
Oh, nice.
oh,
So
really?
that was a plan before, because he gets updates like he's in a group text with a bunch of the people and
Yeah.
like a bunch of the other team managers that they kind of were updating as they had updates and stuff. Because we were supposed to go back and race like two times or 3 times before that. They were like, okay, we're going. Oh no, another lightning strike. Back
Yeah.
off. A bunch of the guys went to the gate, and then they sent them all back. Okay, we're going. Okay, futures kid. Oh no, futures kids. You guys are going to be at the end of the night, and so it was all kind of or like
All
it
over
was
the
all
place.
kind of all
So,
over the place. But I guess that they were going to bulldoze that outdoor part because that would have been definitely like I mean, it kind of would have just been like you wouldn't have been able to do the jumps. I don't feel like with just how soft it was already.
Right.
But I mean, as far as like, yeah, I mean, I didn't think the track was as sketchy as I think a lot of other guys did. But I mean, it was difficult, but you just had to be. I mean, you just had to be kind of on point, especially in those ruts.
so I think what a lot of people didn't realize, and everybody was jumping to the conclusion of they thought it was just rain of why it got canceled. I think people need to understand, and you probably got this as well, is they canceled it because of lightning and lighting. Because lightning in the area, you obviously cannot screw around with lightning.
Right.
But then two is the lighting in the speedway or the drag strip and all that stuff. It wouldn't have been that good. It wouldn't have been good enough to be able to carry the race later in the day anyways, especially with cloud coverage. Was that something that you heard too, or was it just you just all of a sudden found out, hey, it's canceled and you're gone?
Yeah, that I didn't really hear exact. Like I just remember I was thinking about that. I mean, because I was sitting there for however many hours, 3 hours or whatever, just in gear, sitting thinking about just like, dude, this is gonna suck. It's
Yeah.
wet. They're gonna like bulldoze and maybe even change the track. The lighting is gonna be terrible
Yeah.
because like I don't think people realize. You would know if you've ever been to a night track. Typically, like if you've ever been to a night track, they don't change the layout
Yeah.
at night track
Yeah.
very often, if ever. And if they do, they usually just reverse the track. That's for a reason. That's because you have to design the track. It's not in a supercross stadium. So you don't have lights from all different angles and stuff. So you have to design the track to
Right.
where the lights shine down into the ruts. They have to be like on the insides of all the turns, so they shine into the ruts. You can see the bottoms of the ruts so that there's not shadows on the back sides of the jump faces like all that stuff matters, and people,
Yeah.
I know people don't really think about that stuff,
Right.
but a lot of that matters, especially on a track that's rutted, and with how rutted that is. That, I mean, I was thinking about that. I didn't like I wasn't sure if they would. I mean, I knew they had lights, and I saw when they popped on, I was like, okay, well, maybe that's not going to be an issue because they're turning the lights on. So, but yeah, I mean, I was definitely thinking about that. That was going to be a little bit of it was just going to be sketchy because I've ridden a lot of, like, I've ridden night tracks quite a bit. And when they change the layout or something, it definitely, if the lights aren't movable, which a lot of them aren't,
No, yeah.
then it's definitely a little bit sketchy. Because just like if there's a light on the backside of a berm or something, the ruts obviously form like you're leaning over.
Yeah.
So you can't see the bottoms of the ruts. Or if they're on a backside of a face, the shadow, like it just, all that is
unsafe.
pretty important. So
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't know if that was a reason, but because I remember whenever my team manager said, he was just like, race is canceled and they're going to go off first moto finishes. And I was like, okay.
Man.
I just started getting unchanged. I just started getting undressed. I didn't really ask why. I just assumed it was probably because it was getting late. The rain was not really stopping. Like, it kind of was going to get a break, but they were going to have to do, if they were going to bulldoze that whole outdoor section, they had a while of track work to do before we would even go racing. So we were looking at the weather for the forecast, and there was a break. But if they had, if they were going to bulldoze that whole outdoor section, or at least flatten most of the jumps, they're not going to do that in less than, probably 40 minutes or so. So by the time they were going to do that, the next wave of rain was supposed to be hitting. And then you got the light situation. I didn't really care, to be honest. I was like, it's probably one of those, or it's probably all of those is why they're canceling, but whatever. Honestly, I was just happy to, like, it was so tough sitting there for hours. Like, your adrenaline was gone. It was wore off. You're starting to get cold because it got cold and rainy. You're getting cold. Like, you're honestly, you feel like the night's over.
Yeah.
Like, you feel like it's over. So you kind of start to almost like go into decompress mode. Not even like you're trying to, but your body just almost starts to get out of racing mode. Like,
right, which is natural.
Starts to get sore. Yeah, you start to get sore. You start to just kind of get your mind out of race mode after you're sitting there for 3 hours. And I mean, I guess you do that between practice and motos, but that motos are coming. So you never, like, your mind knows that motos are coming, where we were just sitting there like, well, you might race, you might not. So it was hard to keep, like, in it,
It's it's hard to stay in it mentally, especially when you're sitting there and you don't know if you're racing or if you are racing, especially if you're sitting for 3 hours. You know what I mean? Your mind's eventually going to go into naturally just a calm mode. Like, okay, I'm kind of over this. You know what I mean? Instead of being pumped up low and like, okay, I got another moto in an hour. I'm going to stay pumped up for this. Or your body naturally will stay, ready for that moto instead of sitting there for 3 hours being like, I don't know what the heck we're doing, dude. And just like you said, your body starts to hurt. It starts to stiffen up. You start feeling all the aches and pains and everything. And at some point you're like, dude, I'm over this. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah. That was pretty much it, is because we had, like I said, we had like a couple instances before that they were like, okay, we're racing. Okay, everybody get ready. So we were like, I was sitting there with no boots on, no like chest protector. So I'm like, okay. And I start getting everything on. I got my goggles on. Jordan got on his bike, started, like, got a rain jacket on. And then they said, hey, wait, 30 more minutes, 30 more. They'll update us in 30 more minutes. Don't go for 30 more minutes. And then we sit back down. And then they said, then he got a text that said, we're racing tonight, no matter what. So we are racing. We'll update you in like 20 minutes. And then they said, we'll update you in another 10. Like, they were just kind of, we'll update you then. We'll update, but we are racing tonight. And then bang, race canceled.
Oh my God.
So we were like, it was kind of just a roller coaster of just, okay, let's go. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, back. Let's go. And then nope. So it was like, dude, just make a decision. Like, whether we race or whether we don't.
Yeah.
I don't really care. Like, to be honest, I don't really want to race in this, but
I will.
At this point, I just need a decision. Like, we just need to make a decision at this point. So,
the only time I ever saw anything that came from the decision, indecision, all that stuff is when Deegan was about to go out, and then Duff came up to him, and they were about to get on the bike and go out, and then all of a sudden you see Duff like grab his headphones, and then he kind of shakes Hayden off, and he goes, no, come back. And that was, so I mean, like, you could tell like they were literally making decisions back and forth. The one question, and a lot of people had, and I need to ask, I actually reached out to some of the people at Feld about this, and MX Sports, I mean, whoever, I mean, because it's all one big conglomerate when it comes to SMX, but it's really Feld. But I'm like, okay, you as a rider, if they said, hey, we're postponing this race and we're now racing it Sunday, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think that if they cancel it, just cancel it? Or do you think that you should run it no matter what?
I mean, at that point, like, I don't know, because that's what I was kind of also thinking about, and that's what I was talking to some of the other people, just in our pit, about. Is I was like, dude, at this point, the spectators are gone.
Yeah.
Like half the people watching on the broadcast probably turned it off. They probably forgot about it by this point. It's been 3 hours. Like, who's gonna sit on standby on watching Supercross for 3 hours? Like, most people probably change the channel. It's like, it's done. Like, just at this point, just call it. Like, it's kind of like everybody's decompressed. It's cold, it's muddy, everybody's over it. Like, the spectators, most of them, if not all of them, pretty much left. I'm sure the people watching probably changed the channel. It was kind of like, at that point, just call it. I mean, I was like, well, maybe we will race tomorrow. I was like, I mean, if we race tomorrow, I would probably rather do that than race tonight, because then at least maybe they could have a better shot at getting the track decent. But, I mean, to be honest, it's like, I feel like we were all kind of over it, you know? I mean, maybe not everybody. Like I know Jordan wanted to go race a lot more than me because he didn't have a good first moto. So that's what we were thinking about that, because Jeremy, our like team manager, he was like, well, I can text him and tell him like, no, like let's keep running. And I was like, well, you're gonna get two different opinions. You're gonna get two. If you ask us riders, you're gonna get two different opinions. I'm like, nah, I'll take a fifth. I'll take a fifth and leave happy. If you ask Jordan, like, let's run a second moto. I need to do better. So so I mean, some guys obviously probably didn't, but I mean, even the guys that didn't have a good moto or whatever, I don't know that very many guys were really just like, yes, let's big, you know, like I don't know, maybe I'm just not like a super, maybe I just don't get super stoked on riding the mud, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know that many guys were like, oh, this is going to be so sick. Like, this is great. You know,
I don't think anybody was.
So, okay. So let's turn the page a little bit from the actual race. I think besides, I want to stick on the point of your results and like, and it kind of seems like you're catching a little bit of the magic that you've had in the past, right? Like you're slowly becoming a version of yourself that I think that you expect from yourself. And you've gone through, I would say, 2-3 of the gnarliest injuries, and one of them not even from moto, right? Like you've gone through so many different things, so it's going to be harder to kind of get back to the level that you kind of expect yourself, which is winning races, finishing on the podium every time, all that stuff. What is kind of turning for you? Because something is starting to click. Your results are starting to get there.
Yep.
You know, your race speed's starting to get there. I mean, I saw you get sketchy a couple times, but it looked like you recovered it like very quickly in Charlotte.
That was everybody.
You know, it was everybody. But like, what is going on? Like, are you figuring something out on the bike? Is it the confidence? Is it the mental side? Like, what's going on?
I mean, we did find some settings from outdoors that have definitely helped a little bit. And we've kind of been dealing with the same kind of problem all year between outdoors and Supercross. And we just recently, like during the break, found kind of a fix for it, handling wise, basically. And that definitely helped. Bike wasn't perfect by any means, but that like I was saying, it was so hard to I don't think anybody's bike felt perfect on that track, because to make it Supercross, but then to also handle the bumps and ruts that were in that outdoor section, like it's not really possible. So, but it was definitely better than what we were racing all Supercross season with. And the bike started to get better towards the end of outdoors as well. So, I mean, really, I think one of the big deals was I just got a good start finally.
Yeah.
Like I put myself up front because I mean, you saw at Washougal, I got good starts there and finished 5th and 5th. Like in my motos, I started like top 5 in the first moto, got 5th. Started like 8th in the second moto, got 5th. So I think that like that's where I belong. But that the class is so it's like the 250 class is stacked. Like I don't know if people like realize that it's pretty gnarly, and to come through the pack right now is tough. So to come through the pack maybe with how I'm riding is tough, because I have maybe old me could have came from 15th and gotten a podium.
Yeah.
Because I would send it, I would shoot those gaps when nobody else would. I would take the extra risks. Now I'm not doing that as much. I'm definitely more cautious when I'm back in the pack, and I'm keeping an eye out for other guys and what the other guys are doing. Oh, this guy looks like he's coming over. I need to check up, things like that, where I used to not have a second thought about that at all. But then again, I would get hurt a lot. So I feel like that's maybe a little bit of it. It's just that I'm not coming through the pack, and I'm not taking maybe some of those risks as much as I used to.
Yeah.
So a good start is more crucial now. Like I need a good start maybe more than I used to, because I used to have that more send it mentality and be able to come through the pack and make those quick passes better than I can now. Where now I feel like wherever I start, I kind of get stuck there a little bit. At least maybe that's not going to stick, but that's kind of just been the case this season, is that I kind of get stuck. And I feel like that's just because I'm riding too cautious whenever I'm around. Though whenever you get a 12th place start in Supercross, that is scary.
Yeah.
Getting a mid-pack start, the first couple laps of a Supercross race until you spread out, it is scary. I mean, in every turn, somebody's coming for your front end, like somebody's about to run it up the inside. You're watching, you're 3 wide in some of the rhythm sections. You're watching what the other guys are doing, because, I mean, the tracks aren't that wide. So somebody comes over a foot, like you're in, like you guys are hitting. So
or worried about getting landed on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be worried about all that stuff. And like you're going up a triple face, somebody in front of you just decides to check up, and then you're already committed. So there's that, or vice versa. Somebody comes over on you and you check up, then you're looking over your head like, oh man, I'm gonna get landed on. So there's all that, whether you're in Supercross or outdoors. It's more sketchy in Supercross, but outdoors too, like with being 40 guys, it's hectic in the first couple laps, especially in the 250 class, because like, I mean, there's all these kids and they'll shoot those gaps. I mean, they're like I used to be. They'll shoot those gaps when there's not room, and they'll take those risks, and that's why there's a bunch of pileups on the first lap sometimes. So that's what I've been struggling with my starts a little bit this season, and I feel like that's maybe why I don't come through the pack quite as well, is because I'm not taking those risks. So I think that like I still have the speed and I can still put the laps together. I need to be able to do my own laps, sort of thing. It's harder for me to come through the pack, because you need
this call will be recorded.
All that. So and I don't have that quite as much this year, but then again, I've made it the whole season. So maybe that's
this call is no longer being recorded.
Jeez.
What is that?
My phone. I don't know. It was like it wanted to record the call even though I'm already in.
So I think that the cautious side of you is good, right? Because look at you, dude. Look how far you've made it this season. No problem. You know what I mean? And personally, I think you're doing absolutely amazing and incredible. And I know if I can speak for my brother and myself, dude, we've been rooting for you hard this year. Just stoked to see you in every race, right? So I think if you can add the cautious side of it, also with adding some of your natural speed and how fast you are with it, but with the cautious, and get your starts, dude, I think you're going to be dialed. I think you're going to be so freaking good.
Yeah, that's kind of, and I feel like a decent amount, or I guess a little bit of that, maybe 50-50, I guess. Some of it's been me, some of it's been the bike this year. Like we just haven't had a super solid setup.
Right.
I feel like up until this point, and obviously like bike setup is crucial in confidence. You know, like if you're not confident in your bike, you're not going to ride. You're not going to take those risks, do those big rhythms, hit those turns like you need to. And that's crucial as well. So, and that even comes down to like just a start. Like you're confident in your bike, whether it's handling, motor, whatever, like that's going to give you confidence on the start. So, I mean, it's a number of things like that, but I feel like I've gotten better throughout the season, and now the bike's finally coming around as well. We're making progress with the bike, so I just hope that I can keep getting starts. That's my starts were good all day in the qualifying starts and in the race start. They were good in all of them, so I'm just going to try to carry that to St. Louis, because I feel like if I can keep starting up there, then there's no reason why I can't keep finishing up there. If I get passed by some of the guys that have that, like Joe or like Deegan, that some of those they just had that more aggressive. They were just riding more aggressive like that. That's fine. I can live with that, but I don't want to obviously get dropped way back. But like I can live, and I can learn from those guys and see what lines they're taking and stuff. Where in the past I would have never allowed those guys around me in the first place. So, but I would have pushed until I went down a lot of the time to not allow those guys around me. So that's what I'm trying to obviously, I guess incorporate that it's okay to get passed. And if I start second and I finish fifth, and I get passed by 3 guys, that's okay. You know, where old me does not take that for, if I start second, the worst I better finish is second. I'm not going backwards. And I'm doing everything I can to not go backwards. So that's what I'm trying to be okay with. It's hard. It's not easy. I'm not used to getting past. That's tough. Even though those guys were riding really good, I still, whenever I see somebody go by me, it does. And then kind of, check out a little bit. That is definitely an ego hitter for sure. But I mean, I'm happy to be up there. I feel like just battling up there with those guys is definitely a step in the right direction at this point. So that's if I can be up there just battling, whether I finish up there, whether I get past, make passes, that's good at this point.
So in my opinion, I think what a lot of people forget is how early it is still for Triumph to be racing. And a lot of people don't understand that. To be able to, and I said this the other day. So I was talking to Ian Kimber, and I was talking to him, and I was like, dude, it's very impressive what you guys have been able to do here in the States, right? The GP guys are crushing it over there. There's the off-road guys that are crushing it in Triumph, as a whole. There's so many different people in the infancy stage of Triumph. Obviously, they're a huge brand. They've been in motorcycles forever, but dirt bikes, it's completely new. They built a bike from scratch. And for where you guys are at now, I think sometimes people forget, you guys are still developing the bike. You know what I mean? It's not going to be perfect yet. You don't have the ideal, setup that you have all this history of data to go off of. You guys have all that stuff. It, to me, is I think a lot of people just don't appreciate how much and how fast the brand as a whole is kind of advanced in such a short time.
Yeah, that's like I was just saying, the stuff that we kind of found, we're making stuff essentially.
Exactly.
We're we're making the parts. If we want to try something, we are CNCing it and then testing it.
That's crazy.
That's just and you would think just make a part and just throw it on the bike. Well, you kind of want to put your test riders on it. And I don't think people understand, when you make a new part, whether it's a part that is just a couple millimeters different or whatever, that usually introduces different flexes and different things on the bike that can then cause problems. So you wanna durability test a lot of that stuff, and preferably not durability test it with your guys that are that you want to go line up with on the weekend. And that's kind of bad to sound. You're probably like, oh well, find somebody. So you want somebody else to get hurt then? Well, that's not really what I'm saying. But you do you want to. Whether you make a new engine part or you make a new suspension part or whatever, that's just gonna add flex in different areas of the bike, or add flex to that piece different than what we have, because it's 2 millimeters different here, and this is different here, and this engine part is 0.002 millimeters bigger in this area. So you got to put 20 hours on it to see if it's going to blow up or not. That stuff you have to do. So it's not like, oh, just make it and throw it on. I don't think people just that alone is a process, like just making something and making it and it being a part that is better than what you already have. That's hard enough. But then also like having your test guys to go out, like test it, put it through its paces, make sure it's not going to cause any problems for any other parts on the bike, because some of these things you put this on, well then after 5 hours it caused this problem on the bike. So then we gotta, we either got to make that part stronger then, or change the other part to make it to where that doesn't happen. So it's just, there's a lot of things that I don't think people think of when it comes to that. And with being a new company like Triumph, or a new team in Moto like Triumph is, we're doing all that, like we're doing all that. And pretty much this year it's just been, I mean, me and Jordan for the most part doing a lot of the testing, which we're good. Like, we're veterans obviously. And I feel like we're really good testers, both of us, especially bouncing ideas off of each other and stuff. But still, there's been a lot of points this year where we're like, man, like, I feel like we're missing something. And a lot of that times it was, we were missing something. We were missing the part to try, you know? So, and that's what I feel like a lot of teams don't really have that issue, because a lot of the teams, they got 10 linkages to try. Well, we got 3, and if we don't like one of those 3, then guess what? We got to make more, or, whatever it may be. So, that has been a process, and that has been something that we've been dealing with, and that we have gotten better just recently. And I think that it's only going to get better with this off season as well.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to say, and my whole thing of bringing people onto this podcast and talking to people in interviews and stuff like that is showing the personal side of people. I think that a lot of riders, you do a very good job of putting yourself out there anyways, as it is. But where I want to get your opinion on is, when I was at Washougal and I saw you there, I went up to Riley and I said hi to Riley. You were doing autographs, stuff like that. And your fan line is just as strong as I can remember it. You know what I mean? Like, you have a lot of people that are in the autograph line and all that stuff. You have been, a lot of these riders, if they don't produce, if they're not at races, all that kind of stuff, they lose fans, right? Or they won't have as strong of a fan base. It seems like for you, you've kept that fan base strong and it hasn't gone anywhere. Have you, I mean, I feel like you've noticed that, right? Like, you're feeling the love, like, at every race that you go to, I assume.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's funny because a lot of people, I've gotten a lot of messages on Instagram, a lot of DMs and stuff of people saying, hey man, like, to be honest, I used to not really be a fan of you, and I used to talk shit on your posts and stuff, but I've seen some stuff that you've went through and how you've handled that. And now you're a dad, and how you've handled that, and just that's pretty cool, man. Like, I gotta say that's pretty cool. I get those messages all the time, and that's awesome to hear. I mean, it's not really great to hear they were talking shit on my post 2 years ago, and now they're a fan.
I was like, wait.
But it is nice to like see that. I'm still making new fans. There's still a lot of my fans have been there since day one, and they were supporting me when I was amateur and coming on as one of the top amateurs, and then won a lot right off the bat, almost won a couple championships, and now kind of fell off. And then I came back and then got hurt, and then came back, got hurt, and just, it's kind of been that cycle. So a lot of people have been there since day one, but a lot of people I feel like are just now becoming fans, and whether that's the thing is my fan base too are people who are into dirt bikes for more than just watching a dirt bike race. I'm like, there's a bunch of guys like this, but I'll just use Hayden as an example. Yeah. You go to his line, it's mostly kids. And that's not, I mean, he's got a lot of fans, a lot more than I do. He's got a lot of followers. It's mostly kids. Right. My line is a mixture of 16-year-olds to 50-year-olds. Yeah. And I feel like mostly that. Yes, there's kids, but when the kids come through and they're like, asking for a signature, then the dad starts talking to me. Hey man, like, your Dallas crash, like, that was gnarly last year. I'm so happy to see you back. Yeah. That. And so I feel like it's people who resonate with the struggle. Yeah. That's the type of
I get what you're saying.
I still have the kids. I still have the kids that are, I want to be like you when I grow up. I love dirt bikes. You know, I still have those kids. There's nothing wrong with that. I love the kid. But the majority of my audience is people who can relate to the struggle and can relate to me or my story or whatever on a deeper level rather than that more than just it's riding dirt bikes. Like that's a majority of my fan base. And that's, to be honest, like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like that's cool because when people come through my line, you know, I end up talking to a lot of them for a lot longer than what I need to keep the line moving. You know, they're not just here and this, okay, later. A lot of them are like still trying to talk to me, and I'm like, guys, sorry, we gotta keep the line moving. We're gonna be here forever. So but that's awesome. Like to hear, you know, some of the stuff that they went through. I had this guy. I had this guy come up to me at Southwick. He was in a wheelchair, and I got pictures with him because, man, I started crying talking to this guy because it was just gnarly to hear his story, and then how he was saying that he had just watching me and seeing what I've went through as gave him inspiration and things that he's dealt with, and how I've struggled, and he can't do stuff that he liked to do, and he you know, he was hoping to walk again, and that didn't end up working for him, but how he's found other passions, and he's seen me and how I haven't given up, and that's given him, you know, a good, and that's a pretty heavy thing, you know, like that's a lot that, like, I was a little shook up in a bad way, but also a good way after that, because that was just a heavy conversation to have mid race day. Like I was eating my food under the trailer, and he came up and I think he like said hey to my mom, and he was like, hey, can I just talk to Austin for just a second? And then that ended up me like inviting him under the rig and talking to him for 30 minutes. That's, you know, and then I got his number, and he texted me, and we talk on Instagram and stuff like that. So you know, that's instances like that are awesome, and things that's kind of a reason why, yes, I've had a lot of injuries. Yes, I've had a kind of gnarly history, but I wouldn't change it. You know, as much as I want to have the championships that I feel like I should have at this point, one, if not two, that I feel like I should have, maybe even more if I could have gotten those and moved up to the 450 class, you know, who knows? But I feel like I'm hitting people in a lot different way than if I did do that.
Yeah.
You know, if I did do that, I would have had that story, but, you know, there's only so many people who can relate to somebody who comes in and wins from the start and is really successful, doesn't have a lot of setbacks. And, you know, that there's only so many people who can relate to that.
Yeah.
You know, who can relate to the struggle? Almost everybody.
Yep.
You know, almost everybody can relate to the struggle, whether it's, you know, I've had people that message me and say, hey, I'm a 50-year-old mother of 3, and I teach at a school, and I just want to say that you're an inspiration to me.
Oh,
and
that's
I'm like,
cool.
Dude, like that's crazy that what I do impacts that audience.
That level.
Like
you
don't think that that's who you think of kids that want to be like you when they grow up. And, and that's just who you think of. And to see that I'm, you know, that I'm having an impact on that level of people, that's pretty damn cool. That's a lot cooler than I think a championship is. And if you asked me back in 2019, if I would have said that, I would have said no. The championships and money, that's, you know, that's the coolest thing. That's what I'm doing it for. But that's awesome, and I that's awesome. That's an experience that I guess I'm very lucky to have, because feeling like I have a hand or have an impact on people's lives in hopefully a positive way is a really cool deal.
It is. And I think so. Everybody loves a good comeback story, right? You know, the guy that was on top, that was supposed to win this championship, that went through all these injuries, that went through, you know what I mean? Like the brain surgery and everything you did, and you being vulnerable and putting all that stuff out on Instagram, I think related with a lot of people, right? So then at that point, everybody is looking at you like, damn, dude, I want Austin Forkner to win. I love the good comeback story. I love the underdog. You know what I mean? And so I think people can relate with you a lot more than they can with a lot of the people that kind of just go, you know, they go out there and they're on the podium all the time and they don't have that good underdog, good comeback story, you know? So I think you do it in a good way of, you know, portraying yourself on Instagram and all that, and people wanting to,
Showing
you know,
him.
and just, you being you and showing you and giving people and fans something to relate to, you know?
Yeah. No, it's on another note, it is funny that you bring up the Instagram thing, because since I posted that first like clip talking about like, and just talking about my injury instead of just posting and then typing about it, like commenting under the post about it. Everybody does that now.
I noticed
Every
that.
single person who gets hurt or what, everybody does that now. And I think that's because that just got, like you said, that just got such good feedback because I showed emotion, and I showed I was a real human being in that moment, and I was sad and upset and mad and disappointed and all of the above, and in all of those videos that I've made, and that is real. And I think that people can relate to that. I think that people a lot of the time think that we're just these superhumans and we're not people, and that's the case with anybody, whether you're a movie star, you know, singer, songwriter, whatever. I think people forget that, like, at the end of the day, we're people too, and we're, you know, and that we are allowed to show emotion. And I think whenever I did that, that just opened a lot of people's eyes to, oh, he has, like, he's struggling with these things too. Not just the fact that, oh, I you know, blew my knee out. This sucks. I'm going to be out for this long.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he's feeling these emotions, and he's expressing that he's feeling these emotions. And I can relate to that, man. I felt those emotions too. You know, I feel like people can relate to that. And that's maybe why everybody does that now, because that got so many views and got blown up so much, just because I feel like people, I mean, everybody was reposting it and just being like typing just crying emojis, or just like real, like, this is like, I felt this, or, you know, whatever. So, you know, that's, I mean, I think that people are, that's why I didn't, that's honestly why I didn't type it. I started to type a whole thing, and then I was like, honestly, I'm not going to be able to portray what I'm feeling right now from an Instagram post. Like, I just need to make a video, and I just need to be straight up with these people and my fans. And I think everybody will respect that, whether I get emotional, whether I can say it with a straight face and not show any emotion. Well, I think that people are going to be, I think that that's what I need to do. And then now everybody does that, and that blew up. And I think that it's just because it shows emotion. So, I mean, that was, I don't know. I mean, it is awesome to see that, like, people too. I do get a lot of stuff too, because, you know, a lot of the time, you know, in the underdog story, and every underdog story, everybody comes back and they always win. And that's how the movie ends, is everybody goes through all these struggles and they come back, and the movie ends with them winning.
Right.
You know, and there's been times when I didn't think that would happen again. And, you know, I'm getting closer now, you know, so it gives me a little bit of hope. To fit this weekend, that gives me a little bit of hope. But I mean, there's races when I'm like, man, I just don't know if I have this anymore. And, you know, there's still, to see the people that are like, hey, man, just so you know, if you never win a race again, that's fine. And you are still one of my favorite riders. And just seeing you out on the track, period, is enough. Like, that's inspiration to me. And that's backwards from me. And I really still have trouble believing that, even though I say that and people say that to me. I really still have trouble believing that, because maybe this is just me, but I think it's kind of just dirt bike riders in general, or professional athletes in general. You base a lot of your self-worth on that result.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah. I think today's world, it's a little different. Like, I mean, it shows, right? You have a lot of people that still have been in your corner, and the results haven't been there. You know what I mean? Like, you in the sense of winning and podiums and all that stuff. Like, everybody loves a winner. You know, everybody loves all that stuff. I get it. I get it. But I think the tide has changed a little bit when it comes to, like, social media. You guys are more than what your helmet and your number says and your last name, you know, on your jersey. there's more to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
social media has been able to help with that, you know, and getting more people out there, getting your, you know, image out there, all that kind of stuff. Like it's kind of wild. But I got a couple more for you, and then I'll go to a couple Instagram questions, and then we can let you go, because you're out on the East Coast, dude. So it's getting late.
Yeah.
It's getting late.
Yeah,
and you're a
you're
dad,
good.
dude.
Yep.
You're a dad. So
my dad, I think Riley was walking around with him just now she may have gotten him to bed, actually.
Oh,
she
dude.
was walking around with him. He wouldn't go to sleep for a little bit, but I think she finally got him down,
so
should be good.
so I'm gonna ask you straight up, do you miss California?
Is he in Florida?
Some of the
No,
people,
you're in Georgia, right?
Some of the Georgia, south of Atlanta a little bit.
Nice.
Some of the area and the prices and the fact that I own a house out here.
Yeah.
No, I don't miss California in those ways, because this feels a lot more like Missouri, feels a lot more like Oklahoma. The small towns, the no traffic, all that stuff. In that way, I don't miss California, but I do miss California in a way that I had a lot of friends out there.
Yeah.
Just because I was kind of on and off out there for a while now, and then I actually lived out there for 2 or 3 years. So I did have a lot of friends out there. So I do miss, having that, like, when we lived in California the past 2 years, we were just renting, but we had a house with a pool and a pretty big backyard.
Yeah.
So all summer long, I mean, there's always people coming over, whether it's a Tuesday at 11 o'clock in the morning, there's people coming over, at hey, can we get in the pool? Or even in the wintertime, we had a hot tub. So people would come over to get in the hot tub, so there was always people there, which I'm kind of more of a, I guess, loner in a way than I'm fine by myself.
Yeah.
But so I had to get used to that. There were times when I was like, hey, Riley, we need to cool it on all the people coming over. I just need to have some shutdown time and some alone time after riding at the track or what. But I did start to I kind of got used to it, and it did I started to enjoy it, and now that we don't have as many friends out here, and that it is quiet a lot of the time, especially now that we have Atlas too. It probably wouldn't be chaotic either way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be as chaotic with people. Now it's chaotic with Atlas, but so it would have changed whether we lived in California anyway. But I do miss just the amount of people, the amount of friends we had in California, and kind of just being the house that kind of all of our friend groups would go to, really just because we had a pool and a hot tub. We had a big house too, because we had multiple people living with us. So we were all splitting rent, but there was always people. If anybody was having a party of any kind, a 4th of July, St. Patrick's, or whatever, it was always at our place. So that was just kind of, that was kind of cool, just that there was people around, and that was cool.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, but Robbie and I, we're brothers, right?
Why would he know this?
He wouldn't know this. We're from Missouri.
Yeah.
We're
outside of Kansas City.
Yeah. We were,
really?
We were born in Kansas. Were you born in Kansas too?
Yeah,
were you born in
No.
No, I
was talking to Robbie.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't remember where my brother's born, man.
I was born in Overland Park.
Yeah, so we were both.
Yeah.
We were both born in Overland Park, Kansas, and then lived in Grandview, Missouri for a few years. And we moved to California when we were 4 or 5.
Where did you live in Missouri?
I was in you probably wouldn't know the town. It's called Nevada. It was Fort Scott, Kansas.
Yeah.
You probably know where that is.
Yep.
Right across the border.
Okay,
right
nice.
over the border. Straight east. Straight across the border. So
have you?
Right there. Yeah.
Have you raced in Missouri in pro?
Oh yeah.
Where?
Oh no, not in pro. I've only ridden in Missouri only a couple times since I've been even on a big bike. I really didn't ride. Once I got on big bikes, I pretty much went to Oklahoma and lived at Robbie's, or got a house down there and was training there until I ended up moving to California. So I haven't even ridden in Missouri that much, but I'm familiar with Overland Park. One of my the best man of my wedding actually lived right around Overland Park, and he had a track that I would go up there all the time to ride. And Grandview, they had a skate park that I would go ride that skate park all the time in Grandview. I would drive up there and go ride that a bunch, because I was one of the cooler skate parks around. So I would. I'm real familiar with that area. We would always have to go. Usually it was up there was where all the tracks were. So we spent a lot of time.
Funny.
appreciate it.
So do you have a lot of people coming to the race this weekend? And like, how jacked are you for this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited just because St. Louis dirt's usually good anyway, so I'm stoked for that. But yeah, I should see a lot of faces because I remember when I won there in 2020, that was really sick. Just because like I remember the crowd was super loud. I think I don't even know if I'd raced in St. Louis before that, maybe once. But yeah, I remember that the crowd was super loud and it was just cool because after the race, dude, I was there till midnight talking to people. There was everybody from
that's cool.
And because there's a track called Archview that's I think it's on the Illinois side, but it's right there, and it's cool that like because I would always grow up. They have practice on Sunday, so you would go to the race on Saturday and then go practice on Sunday at Archview. That was just like what everybody did. Like everybody would go watch and then you go ride on Sunday because the track's just up the road.
Yeah.
So to kind of go from that to then racing on Saturday night and seeing all my friends that were going to practice the next day, like that was just kind of a cool that's just a cool experience.
Yeah,
it is
just
kind of a full. It's like, man, that's cool, and they're like, man, you made it, like you made it, and we're still going to ride tomorrow with like, that's just a, that's a pretty cool deal.
All right,
That
so last little section of questions, and this is supposed to be quick questions, quick answers. All right, and I got I think two that I think you'll like. And we'll just kind of start from there, and then we'll kind of let you go, and so you can enjoy the rest of your night and get up early tomorrow to go ride. Daniel underscore, I don't know how to say the last name, Schwer, 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 I think. Strawberry or chocolate milk? And there's only one right answer.
Strawberry.
Oh,
wow.
Really? Oh, wow.
I'm not a huge chocolate guy. I like it, but like not just chocolate. Like if I were to eat just like a chocolate bar with no like caramel, no nuts, no anything, not really my deal. So yeah, I'll go strawberry. I don't really drink just a straight glass of milk often.
Yeah.
But I'll go.
No.
All right, fair enough. I don't know
definitely
why.
don't either.
I wasn't expecting strawberry, but I mean, I appreciate it. All right, AZ Squirrel 457. Shout out AZ Squirrel. Good dude, by the way. Has becoming a father helped your riding?
It's that's tough.
Yeah, it is.
It's made it tougher at times to take those extra risks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whenever you have somebody that needs you back at home.
Yep.
So, and some guys would argue and say, oh, it motivates me. I want to show my kid, not never give up, and yes, there's that side of it. But with my career and the injuries and the stuff that I've been through, I see that side more than the motivated positive thing. I gravitate more towards, man, I need to go home this weekend. I can't be hurt. I got to help Riley out with that.
It's okay. There's no wrong answer.
That's a tough one. I guess I'm right in the middle because in some ways it does. And I want to show my son, I want to be an inspiration to him, even though he's not old enough to remember any of this. Whenever he is, I'm sure he'll look back on this and think that it's really cool and think that dad's a badass, hopefully. But at the same time, I do need to, I got to be there for him. But then again, on the other hand, I want to win races. I want to make money.
Yeah.
Because, Atlas, hey, baby needs a new pair of shoes.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm right in the middle. Because
but I will.
Guess yes and no.
So going back to what you said about making or showing him, adversity and making him proud and all that stuff, brother, you already have. Like when he's older and he looks back at what dad did, trust me, you are going to get a lot of kudos. He's probably going to give you a little bit of a hard time, I'm sure. But you can pump the brakes a little bit on like, oh, I need to make him proud. Like, dude, you are making him and a lot of people proud. So don't stress on that. Steezy Too Breezy says, what's been harder to come back from the mental side or the physical side of everything you've been through? Oof.
Mental for sure.
Yeah.
I would say just like that's been my whole battle this year. You know, my body is pretty good this year. I have a nerve problem on my left arm that makes it super weak and kind of hard to hold on at times. But you know, other than that, yeah, my knees are shot. I got a bad shoulder. I got all these things, but it's the mental side more than anything. That I feel like is the toughest, because, you know, pain is pain. I can deal with pain. I can deal with getting hurt. It's the you know it's one of the hardest things that I deal with every race, and at this point I'm kind of numb to it, but is that I have people come up to me almost every race as well in the autograph line or whatever, and they say, "Man, dude, your crash at Dallas.
Oh yeah,
man, I thought I watched you die that night.
Yeah.
Anyway, good luck tonight." And I'm like,
yeah, dude.
oh, that's
Thanks,
sick.
thanks,
I got to go race in an hour. I got to go race in an hour.
Put that in my head.
You just reminded me of that. So yeah, that's definitely the mental side. Just, I mean, the physical side is gnarly too, but the mental side to take those instances and just say, whatever. Like that's a lot easier said than done, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's like jumping in a plane and somebody is like, well, hope the plane doesn't crash. Have a good flight.
Like,
and you're like,
right,
why
thanks.
would you say that, dude?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
appreciate that.
And that's, I know they're being positive about it. Like, man, I'm still gonna see you back. Like that was a nasty one. But it's like every time I just picture that, I just replay that in my head, you know, and I'm just like, oh man. So yeah.
All right, Ryer 68, not moto related, but what's your favorite 556 suppressor and why? I knew you'd like that one.
Oh man. That's tough. I will probably say I'll probably go with just something basic and say the Surefire RC2. It's like the most, it's what the military has ran for years and years. They have new ones that are made out of titanium that are lighter. They now make flow through ones that like blow less like gas back in your face from the gun. That are all new advancements and techie and stuff. It's not the quietest suppressor, but it does the job. It's what the military's ran forever. So I have like 3 of them. So I'll say that one.
There you go.
That's it's tried and true.
So all right. Our father was really big into firearms. He passed away in 2012. There's some stuff, some really cool stories that I'll tell you if you know,
off
whenever
camera.
off camera, in person type stuff, you know what I mean? That I think that you would pretty much enjoy.
I mean, it wouldn't really matter. I mean, he couldn't. What would he do? Get arrested?
No, definitely not. But
you know what I mean?
I mean, there's just a lot of stuff out there that it's just like, I just don't want to portray him in. You know what I mean? Because he was a great guy.
I'm just saying, dude. We might let it fly one day. I mean,
maybe.
You know, what are you gonna do? Go arrest him, bro? Like, good luck.
There's some cool things that. Yeah, you know what? No, I'm not saying it because I'm not getting myself in trouble either.
Bro, he had grenade launchers.
He did.
I'm not kidding. Like he really did, dude.
Yeah,
like,
he did.
It was gnarly.
Cool.
So I'll tell you some stuff in person.
Yeah, tell me some stories. Yeah, give me some stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Knox Carry 36. This one was kind of confusing, because I don't think you'll be there, but at MX of Nations they get a jersey. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I probably won't be there. If you're at a race that I'm at, racing, then and you come up to me like after the races are over, if you're one of the first people to ask, then I'll probably give you a jersey. But you got to be like the first one that I get off the bike, I take my jersey off, and you're like, hey man, can I have that? And I'm like, sure, and I just throw it at you or whatever. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm so hot at some of these outdoor races. I'm like, here, take it, whatever. But I doubt I'll be at the Motocross of Nations. I'll probably be chilling on a beach somewhere. Exactly.
That brings up a question. So we were talking last week. We had a guest on, and we were talking about goggles, right? You know,
you might know Gnolfi.
Yeah, we're talking about Gnolfi. Or we're talking to him. I was asking him a question as far as like, hey, what are your thoughts on riders throwing the goggles in the stands or giving them away? Do you need to take those goggles back? Stuff like that. Is it the same thing with jerseys and everything? Like at the end of the race, what do you do with your jersey? Can you give it out to a fan? Do you have to give it back out to, the company you're riding for? Do you keep them? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, we keep them. So like we practice in them during the week. So I've been, like I've been practicing in all my race jerseys. So at the beginning of the year, when I was just starting to ride for FXR and I didn't have that much gear, I would hardly give any jerseys away because I'm like, guys, I need to take, like, I'm washing my gear
Understandable.
like every couple days because I don't have enough jerseys, or I guess Riley is. I'm not washing it, but she is. So so at the beginning of the year, I just wanted all the gear sets were pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I just wanted the variety of different colors and stuff. So I'm like, hey man, like I have one jersey to give away. Other than that, I'm keeping the other sets because I want to go ride in them. Like I want to keep them and ride in them. And then they would update the gear. Like they got some pants at some point in the year that fit a little bit better. They were just a little bit loose for Supercross or whatever, that we were with this hard seat bounces. So they made them fit a little bit better. So then I kind of scrapped all the ones that were before that and started only running those. So then I wanted to keep my gear sets again. So there's just situations like that like I would want to keep that stuff. My goggles though, I know that our Oakley guy comes and like takes them after. Like if I give a set away, he's not like, yo, where are those goggles at? But if there's a set lying around, he just takes them and probably takes them and rebuilds them and brings them a couple weekends later or whatever they do with them. I don't really know, but it's not like you're not in trouble if you give it away or anything like that. But jerseys are kind of, all that stuff is kind of up to you from my past experience. But a lot of that stuff, like I want, some of the gear sets and stuff, we only have a couple sets of, especially like the races they make you a full gear set just for that race. It's like, dude, this is sick. Like I don't want to give you guys this. I'd rather keep one for myself. My mechanic told me at the beginning of the day that he wants one of these jerseys because it's super sick. And that leaves me like one set. Yeah. So like that's kind of, I don't really want to give you one, Billy. I want to keep these for myself.
Which is understandable.
I like that. So yeah. So I mean, it's kind of up to you.
Okay, so I can't thank you enough for coming on, dude. I really appreciate it. I really hope that, this weekend's good. It's going to be inside, so you don't have to worry about weather.
Great.
Thank God. Yep. But, really just can't say thank you enough. You've always been gracious to me. And I appreciate your time, man.
Yep, no worries. It was good good coming on. I always like having good conversations with guys, especially when it's more, everybody. I feel like I used to be like this a little bit. I'm definitely getting better at it now, but everybody, I feel like a lot of guys are so used to talking, like giving the answer like you do on the podium. And talking like you do on a podium. So whenever I get to come on some podcasts and have some real talks with people and not really feel like, oh, I can't say a cuss word. Oh, I have to say the right thing. Oh, if I can't say that we've been struggling with the bike, I can't say, I can't feel like that I can't say any of that. I have to say everything's great and I'm ready for next weekend. Like you just having that. That's first off, that's not real. But second off, that's just, I don't enjoy being like that. I like being real and I like having real conversations, and I think that's what people like to hear anyway. So
well,
no worries. Happy to come on, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And like I said, you're kicking ass this year, dude. We're super excited for you, and we're looking forward to, plenty more years of you getting back up on top of your game and everything. So I think you're headed in the right direction. So just keep up the good work, dude, and you're making everybody proud.
Sweet, man. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right. Have a good night,
Austin.
man.
Yeah, you guys too. See ya.
You don't want to restart the...
No,
welcome back.
We're not
live.
restarting. We're not restarting the podcast.
Hey, welcome back. We're freaking live. No, we're not live, dude. We've been doing this for an hour already.
Yeah. But dude, that was a great interview with Austin.
I love how vulnerable he was, and like how just open he was about it. And just like he said at the end of the interview, the heck is going on here? What he said at the end of the interview was just like, I don't want to come on, or I don't want to do it to where I have to give a podium speech. And that was great because he didn't.
Yep, I agree.
So it was sick, dude.
Though the thing for me is I was about to ask him about Prado. Be like, hey, what's your opinion?
Nah, I don't know if you want to put that out there.
Well, he might
call him back right now.
I know. Yeah. Just text him. Be like, hey, can you give me a quick synopsis of Jorge Prado?
Right.
But yeah, no, it was good. The dude's been through so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's get to. I have a couple points. Okay, on the track.
Point
all
one,
right.
Point two.
Yes.
Point three.
Camera one. Camera two.
Okay,
camera one. Camera two. Is the track was unreal. And it was brutal, and it was gnarly, and it was rough.
Yep.
I was shocked by how gnarly that track was. I don't really like a track to be that insanely difficult. I understand why they do it and all that stuff. Cool, whatever. But it's one of those things where it's like I think it was a little too much on the gnarly side, like some of the sections, stuff like that. I did think it was funny that Austin, how he said is like basically it was a motocross track with like one supercross rhythm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because what it was. And dude, Juju, thank God he's okay.
Yep, that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, like he had surgery, burst his L3,
dude.
And a couple other things, but dude thank God he's okay.
So let me ask you about this, because there's been a couple people out there saying that he never should have ridden, right? And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have. I feel like he only knows when he should be riding, all that stuff, right? Do you think that played, his concussions that he's had this year, played a factor into what happened at the race at all?
No, because there was like 7 people that did the exact same thing.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, like it was I've never seen. How many times in the history of you watching a race have you seen somebody endo that hard?
That many times.
That hard.
Multiple riders.
Bro, that hard and flip?
Yeah.
Hammaker did it?
Yeah.
The
guy from Futures, or not Futures. It wasn't called Futures. It's not called Futures.
Next.
The next was a club guy.
Yeah, okay, so that was a club.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was next. I didn't know who that was. So yeah, he did it.
Yep.
Juju did it.
Yep. Was it all in the same section?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like,
so that's when I was coming out, because I heard somebody say that, and I'm like, dude, you understand, like 3 other people did the same thing.
It was insane. So I couldn't believe that happened.
I'm just glad that it's not worse than what it could have been.
I am too. So yeah, it's interesting, I think they're trying to find the happy medium. They're doing a good job there. I am curious. I think this round, St. Louis, I think is going to be way more Supercross style.
For sure.
I don't think it's going to be very outdoorsy at all. I think it's going to be pretty much a St. Louis Supercross. But it was pretty gnarly. Deegan looked like he had a great time. Yeah. Obviously he won the 250, even though he only won the one. I do have a question that I want to get your opinion on. Don't let me forget. And then you had Jet win the 450 class. We thought when we did the podcast last time that AP was going to race. He ended up not racing.
I know, dude. There was a few
sad.
People. What do you think? I said it last week on this podcast. Prado is out for SMX. I meant to say MX on, but I said SMX, and guess what? I was right.
He's out of Motocross of Nation too.
Yep. He's out of both.
There might be news coming.
He's going to beta?
That's all I'm going to say. Everybody that I talked to at Kawasaki and Prado, I talked to Prado directly too.
Nice.
They both were going to race SMX. Like the plan the entire time was to race SMX. They just mutually agreed that it was best for him to not race SMX.
If they were both planning on it, why didn't they race it then?
So my only thing
something happened.
Something happened, something came up, and they just decided, you know what? It's better for us to not do it.
Okay.
Then
that's perfectly fine then. If they both can sit there and come to an agreement like, hey, I think it's best for us as a manufacturer, as a team, as this, for you to not race, and he agrees on the same thing, then it is what it is.
I agree.
Because you don't want going in, you want both people going in 100%, not half-assing on one side.
I agree. But I thought he would give 100% because of how much money it is. And I think, especially this track, I think it kind of would have suited him a little well. I think it would have suited
probably would have, dude.
AP too.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the energy to discuss Prado all over again.
No, that's fine. We can, I just wanted to bring that up real quick.
No, so it was good to have Rocks in there.
Yeah, it was.
It was Tomac looked good. Sexton looked good. I'm like, give me the freaking race that we all want, which is all those guys. And then, of course, the freaking first moto, we had it for a little bit. And then and they canceled the second motos. I'm like, son of a gun, dude.
I know. So, and a lot of people are complaining about they canceled the second motos, which Austin kind of went into more depth about, which I think like kind of helped people a little more understand. But I think a lot of people don't understand is if there is lightning, and I think it's up to
7 mile radius,
7 miles or 9 miles away or something, the insurance themselves requires them not to race.
Oh, they'd be sued, dude. The people have gotten hit in Texas.
So what's going to happen is if they were to say, screw it, we're still going to race anyways, and something does happen at the track that somebody gets struck by lightning or something, dude, the insurance is going to drop them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're just liable. They'll get lawsuits.
Well, correct.
All that
They'll get
stuff.
lawsuits.
Like, it would be
but I'm
terrible.
saying, but now what? Now you don't have insurance. So then going into next weekend, what are you supposed to do?
It'd
you know
be
what I
done.
mean? Like it's smart all around just to be like, okay,
yeah,
you know.
But
we're
where I think a lot of people forget is they were like, well, you know, Lightning was done and there was football games that were happening next door or whatever they were saying is. I'm like, yes, that is true. The Lightning did pass, but they didn't have lighting for the track.
That also plays a factor
and that
in it. Well,
sucks.
It's a drag strip, dude. It's not a stadium. It's not even a NASCAR track, right? Where they have more lighting.
Yeah.
It's a drag strip, which if you go up like at drag racing at nighttime, you'll see
there's
not that much lighting. Dude.
No, it's not that
There's
light.
really not. And Austin made a really good point about they point the lights more into getting to see inside the ruts. The lighting at dude, I keep forgetting what camera to look into.
You look into both,
lighting,
bro.
I'll just look right in the middle. The lighting at a drag strip is pretty dim, dude. It's not that bright.
Yeah.
You know, so it always came down to safety. If it was just rain and they had good lighting all day long, it would have been solid.
Yeah, I would have been pissed if they didn't race just because of that.
Yeah.
So here's my question. Okay. What was more impressive in your opinion? Jet Lawrence, or you're watching fantasy right now, huh?
Yep.
Dude, you are glued to your phone.
Yeah, my guy. Sorry.
DeAndre Swift.
Yes,
We both have
suck
DeAndre
it, Mike
Swift.
Gomes, I'm coming after you, dude.
Dude,
right,
Cheryl beat me.
Closing it.
Is we have Jet Lawrence winning, being about 3 seconds ahead. So is it easier to do what Jet Lawrence did, which was get the whole shot, stay in the lead, and win it, right? Or was it more impressive with Hayden Deegan starting like 12th or something like that and whooping everybody's ass and coming up to the front of the pack and winning that race?
So I think it's more impressive coming from behind and passing people and winning a race. Instead of getting the whole shot, you have nobody in front of you, so you have more of an open track to work from. You can choose whatever lines you want. When you're coming from behind, you're having to pass people, take up different, lines through every lap, all that stuff. So definitely more impressive.
With what Hayden did.
For having Hayden come from behind.
I thought so too. Like it was wild to me, like what he was able to do and be able to pass everybody that he did, especially, I mean, you got a little bit of help with Joe crashing. Yeah. Which I don't know, it could have maybe, I don't know, the way that Hayden was riding though, I don't think it would have mattered. I think he would have passed him anyways.
Possibly.
But yeah, it was to me more impressive to see Hayden come from behind and be able to do what he did. That was actually pretty good.
What about Roxon, dude?
Roxon's freaking...
He faded.
Yeah.
But which is understandably so with the amount of time he's been off the bike, right?
Yeah.
But dude, he was running up front for a little while.
Yeah, he's fast, dude. He's a fast guy.
Yeah. I'm excited for him for next weekend.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not saying he's going to win or anything. I'm just saying I'm excited to see him. He could have came back and been like running around 10th place or something the whole time. You know what he didn't?
True.
But he didn't. He came back and dude, he was running up front. Like I love that. I think that's
dude.
Cool.
Freaking RJ powered through too.
Yeah, dude.
Like RJ's a freight train.
He is.
Like
he's a beast.
And I think if he can kind of figure out maybe the starts, like he's gotten a couple. But he's going to get to the point where he's going to get these starts and stay up front and be up front. The fitness is there. I think his body's recuperating or cooperating with him now and all that stuff. Like it's pretty impressive to be able to see. I mean, I was impressed by a lot of the guys. I was impressed by Eli. Like he even did good.
Yep.
Sexton
until
coming
you went
back
down,
finally.
dude, until you washed. Or until he slid out, I was like, no.
We only got 2 more races of Chase on a KTM
and Eli on
a Yamaha. And I mean, it's who knows what happens, but we have to take advantage of what we're seeing right now from 100%, those guys because 100%. The racing is at a degree that we may not be able to get when they change.
Yep.
And I don't know. To me, it's just it's like it was beautiful, dude. Seeing that and everything, I was just like, yes, this is what we want. Yeah. I'm hoping that we get it again this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm hoping we get it in Vegas. I mean, even adding Hunter in, and all that stuff, like I think it'd be pretty cool too.
Yeah,
it's just overall it's an exciting time to be a race fan.
With everybody saying, okay, things have already not have necessarily been 100% confirmed on people changing manufacturers, right? We've heard it. Okay. Chase is going to Cowie. Eli's going to KTM. It's a done deal, all that stuff. But nothing has been confirmed by those manufacturers or those riders, right? So you hear it and you hear it a lot. But dude, I look forward to the contracts. The contracts coming out and people officially announcing where they're going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it is
I
cool
look
to see
forward
the
to that
first
and be like the
post.
excitement. Like, is that really going to happen? Everybody's saying Chase is going to Cowie, but is it really going to happen? You know what I mean?
So I know for a fact the Eli one is. That one is 4,000% sure. And I'm kind of getting the same thing.
Thought about
on
Christian
the Chase
Craig
one.
leaving, they would have left him in there.
Dude,
Just kidding. It's a star,
nobody give me my respect and my flowers, by the way. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you who told me about Christian Craig switching to Quad Lock Honda. I posted it last Monday, a week ago, when he said he was leaving, or it was on Sunday, maybe Monday, and I got a message from somebody, and it said, "Hey, do you want a scoop?" I said, "Yeah," and he said he's going to Quad Lock Honda, and I was like, "Shut up!" And like we went back and forth for a little bit, and then so I posted it to keep an eye out for Quad Lock Honda, And then 2 days later, Christian Craig posts that he's on Quad Lock Honda. I'm like, see, I told you.
Yeah,
I told you.
So is that just for the rest of the SMX, or is that going to be for next year?
So
too?
it's right now. It's for sure World Supercross
or World Supercross. I'm sorry.
So it's going to be the World Supercross stuff, and then after that, I don't know. There is rumors that he wants to go to Cowie. There is thoughts that he will go to Cowie.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be a possibility before, but apparently he wants to race Supercross and outdoors. I think it makes perfect sense for him to go to Cowie.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be a great person to fill in at Cowie. He's a phenomenal test rider. I think that him and Sexton would get along great.
Yeah.
It wouldn't worry Sexton that like another guy that could potentially win a race, but he's going to be able to be there.
You wouldn't have you wouldn't have two people competing for the number one spot.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand that. So
and it's wild to me is I still don't know, man. Like Sexton's doing so good on that KTM. It scares the hell out of me.
It's weird.
You know that he's going to go, but
it's weird.
But it's interesting. So I do want my flowers on that because other people started posting it like, oh, I reported on this on like Tuesday, Wednesday, and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, I was first. All right, so put some respect on my name, people. And two,
he wasn't first.
Two is
Cooksey Media was. I'm just kidding. It was a joke.
I'm gonna walk out of this podcast.
You're gonna walk out with the podcast.
I'm gonna walk out from it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Overall, I thought I'm bummed we didn't get more racing. I was sad that they canceled it.
What is the reason? Can they? Sorry, not to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
If that does happen on a Saturday, can they race on a Sunday?
So I reached out to 3 different people at Feld, and I didn't get a single response. So maybe I'm not that cool. I asked that same thing. I would rather them. I get the riders not wanting to do it, and there's a whole bunch of logistics that go behind it and everything. I get it, but I'm like, okay, well, let's finish it out.
Change everybody's flights.
Yeah, like I get it,
all that stuff. So,
but other people do it in other sports, right? Like NASCAR does it, NHRA does it.
So
football games will do it. Like
I'm also wondering if it has to do with like the broadcast. Okay, maybe you can't broadcast it, but can you Instagram live it? But everybody would watch that.
No, but they could still do it on Peacock. Like you could still do it on Peacock, no problem.
I know there's a lot of logistics behind it. And everything, especially you got to change everybody's flights and all that stuff.
It's a lot,
but I'm just curious.
I would prefer that, and instead of them just canceling it, I would prefer them postponing it.
Yeah,
and then somebody said like, "Oh, add a third race or make the St. Louis one a Triple Crown." I'm like, I don't like that.
That's what I was going to come up next.
Yeah.
So say they didn't do the second race, right?
Yeah.
What if they do add a third one? Okay, they do the 1 and 2 at St. Louis, and like, okay, now we're going to throw in a third one. That'll take the overall the championship or not championship. We'll take the win for.
I don't like that because it's a different track and different styles and all that kind of stuff. So you're taking what somebody would be very good at in Charlotte and then rewarding it at a track that they maybe like more in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I don't really like that. I get the reason why, but I don't care for that.
I'm just trying to think of any other ways that you could possibly do something.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that
you could have everybody arm wrestle.
That'd be sweet. Who would win in arm wrestling?
Who would win? Chase Sexton, for sure. You see how big that dude is? Him and Kenny.
You think Chain? No, not Kenny.
No, Kenny's wrestling dude.
Yeah, Kenny. Yeah. Maybe March Banks.
Mookie.
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 Ooh, who would be the top
Benny Bloss.
5? Nah,
Benny
he's
Bloss
got an
would
arm
win.
issue too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think that's his left arm, though. Huh?
Yeah, is who would win out of all the pro riders on the 450s? Who would be the strongest in arm wrestling?
In an arm wrestling competition?
That would have to be... dude, it's hard to go away from Chase, dude, because that guy's built like a rock.
It is, but also Mookie, dude.
Yeah, but I would say that would be the finalist. It would be Chase Sexton on one side, Mookie on the other.
Yeah.
And they would just be battling for who has God's arm.
Yeah, who's the strongest and best arm wrestling champion?
It would probably be between those two. But
these
Eli
guys
Tomac, hold on. Eli Tomac is a
strong,
dad.
dude.
He is a dad, and there is dad strength.
That's true.
So maybe he sneaks in there as like the old guy. I don't know. Maybe. That's pretty good. That's a good one. We're going to have to find out.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they go like before a race and they break their arm? You know, like people do that arm wrestling. I'll be like, oh my God, look what we did, dude.
It snaps.
Yeah, the arm wrestling challenge.
Well, I'm looking forward to St. Louis. I'm looking forward to Vegas. I'm looking forward to the rest of the year, World Supercross, all that stuff, dude. I just want some good riding, some good racing, and I'm excited to see,
picks.
I'm trying to finish something, dude.
Oh, I thought you were about to like be done. I'm like, we didn't do our picks.
No.
Oh,
I was gonna say I'm just excited for racing.
And if you want to do
this freaking guy, I am excited to see if the rumors are true where people are going.
It is.
So they could be lying to you, dude. Daniel Blair is coming back. He's riding for Club.
That'd be sick.
Yeah,
there is.
He can do it.
You know, the one rumor that I am curious to see what it does actually happen, and I put 1,000% no chance that it would happen.
What?
Hayden riding a 450 at A1.
Yeah, no.
There might be some smoke to that one.
I don't know, dude.
I
don't think so. He's going to want to defend his title. I think it'd be smart for dude, anything could happen.
There might be smoke to that one.
That'd be sick. If nothing said anything and he just showed up to A1, they're like, hey, yeah, you're going to ride 250 West Coast, right? And that's what he put out to everybody.
Yeah, so he'll be at Anaheim.
And then it shows up, right? And then the gate drops for 250, and they're like, no, there's no Hayden Deegan.
Well, you would see him in qualifying first.
Oh, shit.
If he does, you would have to qualify.
Well, you put black number plates on there.
Yeah, full militia.
I'm just saying, what if like he told everybody 250 West, all that stuff, right?
And then shows up at A1 and comes out in
Moto
450.
1 on a 450.
No,
you know what I mean?
He would have to come out in qualifying.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but he could put black backgrounds on it.
No, that's not how that works.
I know. They'd be like, he's qualifying on a 250 in the 450.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay.
I'm just saying, it'd be cool.
All right, so get your predictions.
I'm not an idiot because I know somebody's listening to this right now.
You're dumb.
Your brother's an idiot.
Yeah.
Mike Gomes.
My favorite thing in the world is like, that guy's an idiot. And I respond, I'm like, which one? I'm like,
I know.
I'm like, who?
It's great. I always just point at him.
Yeah, it's right.
Like they're talking about my brother.
All right. So who's winning?
This weekend?
Yeah.
I should have seen the track layout. I don't remember what it looks like.
It's very supercrossy.
Okay. I'm going to go 450s first?
Yep. No, 250s.
250s first?
Yeah.
I'm going to call... Dude, Cole Davies would be sick.
I was just saying that in my head.
Okay, I'm going to call Joe,
Yeah.
Hayden, Davies.
Okay.
And then 450?
Yep.
I'm going to go Eli,
Okay.
Jet,
Okay.
Chase.
All right. So I will go Hayden, Joe, Davies.
Okay.
So Hayden wins. Joe gets second. Davies gets third. And then I will go Jet. Jet, Sexton, Tomac.
All right.
Like,
you
he looked
threw
good.
Tomac on the podium. All right.
He looked good. So that was a long one.
That's it.
Maybe that might be our longest. No, we're not.
Oh, dude.
Ready. Premature. By the way, you said that comeback story earlier. Have you ever heard that comeback joke?
No.
You
Is that
ever
why
heard,
you were
like, who has-
laughing?
Yeah.
I was
dude.
wondering why you were laughing, dude. I'm like,
You never heard-
I was asking. I was saying something really positive to the guy.
You never heard the Parks and Rec thing where they say like who has really good comeback stories?
No.
And Chris Pratt goes, "Oh, Kim Kardashian." Have you heard that?
No.
Go look it up.
Now
I
I'm never
can't
gonna
say it on
say-
here. Go look it up.
Now I'm never going to say it again.
So, anyways, yes. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening.
They could have left it when I pressed it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Send us some suggestions of who we should have on next week.
And buy some ETS racing
ETS racing fuel.
Lots of it.
All right, we're out of here. See
It'll
you guys.
make you win, dude. If you're getting last place at the races, you put ETS in your bike, you're for sure getting first.
Speaking of ETS, and you put a little... No, I'm not doing it. Goodbye.
Speaking of ETS, I need some.
I got you right here.
All right, bye.